Although, actually, all 4 series could be pretty close.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. So I went for that instead of stating my namesake on one particular series.
Anyway, the game launched, so get out.
Goodbye.
Goodbye and see you next time. But yeah, this is basically Badlands, but without Hydras, as Farm said. So what do you think the players are gonna do here?
They're gonna make engineers and units.
Holy hell, I wouldn't think of that.
I forgot to disable Supreme Scoreboard again.
Do I have to remind you next time?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I will remember. But hey, it seems like it's gonna be a standard deal.
We have Nexus picking Cybern this time. And at the bottom left we have Pepsi picking Seraphim. I'm surprised that there's no UEF. Maybe they're both vetoed UEF. But on a map like this, I think UEF and Cybern are like the classic picks.
Yeah, the T3 bots can be really useful here.
Not to say that Aeon and Serra are bad per se, but it's just less common to see them being played here. I mean, the thing is, Auroras just don't really work on this map. You can do a fast blaze rush potentially, but you can't really push with those masses either. So
yeah, it's just way too easy to go and stab the Auroras. They're basically made of paper, and here you want some HP to go and actually fight in these choke points.
Yeah, I think as Aeon it's very awkward to play the early game of the map. I mean, it's still, of course, you can still like let's say that UEF and Cybern are like 100%, Aeon is like 95%, but still, just having that disadvantage for no reason is.
Yeah, this is not 2017 where you could just rush a harp and call it a day.
I mean, Harp Rush is still very good. It's just nowhere near as unbalanced as it used to be.
Yep, exactly. Now it takes either some skill or preparation to actually go and pull it off, because otherwise you will have Mantis everywhere on the map, and well, without map control you won't have the eco to actually go and support the hard brush.
Actually, Pepsi, nice voice crack. Pepsi is sending engineers to the back of his base. And this is a strategy that I only remember Ajax using in the past, where he devised some BO for via tree, because these are a lot of tree groups that you can grab for your early ease scaling. So it's not necessarily bad, although there's a lot of like broken tree groups as well. I call them trees, but whatever they're supposed to be.
I mean, I still think those are basically trees or something, just alien trees looking like worms sprouting out of the earth.
Very nice. I'm looking at them from up close. They look so fucked. Holy shit!
I mean, they look like worms or something sprouting from the tree.
Yeah, they do.
Like, look at them with their mandibles and stuff. They could be basically starting Dune or something.
True.
But okay, it seems like Nexus is actually gonna be a tad bit more aggressive with his land units, while Pepsi is going out to start off with the quite fast Inti rush.
Yeah, Pepsi made 2 Salons and he just put them in his 4max expansions, but I don't understand that whatsoever, because if there's a raid to go for the engineers, the raid wants to kill the engineers at the 4max expansion, so the moment you see the raid it's already too late. Because it's a Salon.
Yeah, so it cannot defend or anything.
Yeah, well, it can win a very slow and long fight against a lab, but if the lab is microed, it will just kill the engineer regardless.
Although it seems he's actually gonna be quite lucky, because his AC moving exactly to the position where the raid is coming.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I prefer Nexus start a bit more, at least with this early engineer expanding. I like the tree grabbing from Pepsi. You can see one of the, like, he already got 2 KE from that, and also like 400 mass as well from the tree groups.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of early reclaim.
It's very nice to do at the start, especially because if you attack move like the small rocks, you have to constantly adjust your attack move, but there's so many trees there, so it takes a long time to reclaim them all. Pepsi at the top left made the factory before the Nexus. That's interesting. I don't remember ever seeing someone do that, at least recently.
Yeah, I think he was just scared of the engineers dying to something, so he decided to go for the early factory.
Yeah, because he had no protection. So the bomber from Pepsi didn't get a drop off. Micro from Nexus.
Yep, a really nice dodge. Meaning that the engineer should actually stay alive. Yep, it's gonna stay alive.
Well, he got the bomb. He is so.
No.
He had a very small chance to actually drop a bomb. But there's some backup engineers from Nexus pretty close by, so it wouldn't have been too brutal of a bomb. One raiding mantis in the middle, the nice 80% factory, that's gonna be annoying, Pepsi.
Yeah, especially as this factory is often used to go and make engineers to reclaim these tree groups and rocks, and then to go on for the middle.
Pepsi decides to respond by sending 10 tanks to deal with that mantis.
Oh well, he's angry.
So yeah, it's really about the speed and I think at which you get your factories online at the 4max expansions. Nexus is building most of his factories around the two maxes besides his main base. So he now has 10 land factories in total to make units. So Pepsi is on a lot less by the looks of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's on 8.
Yeah, well, make it 10 factories, from what I can see. And Nexus have already 7 working and 6 being idle.
Well, what? Oh, the
Factories.
what's idle?
I mean,
Oh.
being built. So it seems like Nexus is scaling way harder when it comes to the land factories and stuff.
Yeah, what is important though is that Pepsi is already on Tech 2 and is working on his first Tech 2 pigeon. And that is actually a pretty big difference. Nexus is already queuing up his Tech 2 land, like he's building it right now, he started it. But he's a full minute behind, if not 1.5 minutes. There's a massive difference in units though, and you can see, like, look at the units at the top from Nexus compared to those from Pepsi. Pepsi is bringing a lot more up, but they're so far out of position at this point.
Yep, basically the top should be secured for Nexus quite easily. Especially as Pepsi is not even trying to contest the top side.
I'm very curious what Pepsi's plan is, because he did a Tech 2 land rush for Seraphim. So the strengths for Sarah on this, well, as always, Sarah, you do RT drops, which is strong. Aside from that, a Tech 3 rush is not that strong for Seraphim in general, because Autumns are nowhere near as maneuverable or microable as other Tech 3 units are generally. Like, this attack from Nexus on the left, it might break through and kill. Like, he keeps denying those engineers from building up, and that's...
Yeah, and it seems like the PD is not gonna be built on time if the Matisses actually move into the engineers.
Yeah, like, he won't kill the factories, because there's too much build power there, but he will just deny a lot of reclaim for a long time. Well, Nexus is reclaiming from both sides, and the reclaim in the close to those positions is just that important. But yeah, like Seraphim, you can maybe try to go for mass Yenzine spam, because Yenzines are fast.
Yeah, they're fast, have quite nice alpha, that's basically a nice package. And it seems like Nexus is actually greedy and he's gonna go and drop the bottom side too.
Well, he didn't exactly drop the left side, he just walked some engineers there.
No, I mean the right side, sorry, my bad. Here.
Oh, there, yeah.
And the sad part is that the little tank that was there from Pepsi actually just moved past it without even seeing it happen.
Yeah, the Pepsi is transitioning into Tech 2 Air instantly, by the way, with quite a lot of assistance. He made a second pigeon and is now gonna spam some notas. So he's probably looking to sneak some Tech 2 pigeon kills, which is the most important at this point. Nexus is instantly queuing up to do the same though. Pepsi is going for the Tech 3 land HQ. but it's not that hard assisted. But look at these Mantis from Nexus, they're doing so much damage, and that might actually be too much damage.
Yep, he's losing the reclaiming engineers, the tanks and everything. And the deep power is very important here.
Like, go into their POV, because you have to choose scoreboard off, and check the total amount of engineers for each player.
Let's see, there is 110 for Nexus and only 78 for MrBeast. So 30 more engineers for Nexus.
Yeah,
and also the
important.
Income is also quite big discrepancy. Nexus on 55 mass per second and MrBeast on only 25. So double the mass income for Nexus.
Only 25.
Yes.
Nexus made 2 tech to Nexus so far, but most importantly, he's grabbing all the tech 1. Because early, like, you don't tech up too many Nexus on this map.
Yeah, because you have so much reclaim to go off early on.
Yeah, but you have to make a lot of units with that, and you have to scale a lot with that reclaim. So that's why you can't really afford to make too many maxes. It's only right at this, roughly at this point, when you just make a lot of maxes at once. That's what Nexus is doing right now. He's making like 4 tech 2 maxes at once. 5. Yeah, he's making 5 tech 2 maxes at once while going tech 3 land.
Yeah, and he already have 2 of them finished. So yeah, he's looking pretty nice on the eco side. And the T3 HQ is already halfway done compared to Pepsi's. Let's see, how much does he have?
It will be done at the same time because Pepsi started earlier, but he has less assistance on it. But
yeah, and he doesn't actually have the eco to go and pull it off fast enough.
But the map control looks really, really bad for Pepsi. He is making a few Yenzins now, but I feel like it's already kind of too late at this point. Because his advantage was the early tech to lands, but there was not really a transition. I'm not sure how much mass he has been stalling every now and then.
Oh, he's been stalling like minus 50 or something. Although he's been helping himself with the reclaim and stuff, so it wasn't that bad. But
okay,
Nexus was doing exactly the same.
on the right side are gonna try to go for the pigeons, but Nexus
they're not gonna do it. The Intis are coming in here, and well, goodbye, not us.
The one will maybe get a pass off, but that's not enough. There's also a shield. And a static flag is even... that didn't make it.
Yep, and what's even more, Nexus have some courses of his own, meaning that Pepsi will have to watch out for the counter-snipe.
Yep, and Nexus cleans up the mid and is now sending engineers there. And there's still the nice juicy T3 mass fab rack. 2.5k mass. And depending on how much APM he wants to spend, he can also manually reclaim all the civilian buildings, which is quite some mess nowadays, I think.
Oh yeah, and there have been changes made to the building so they can actually be useful for once, instead of just being nothing but props.
Yep. So the first autumns are out. I'm curious whether he wants to try and drop them, but then again, Nexus already has loyalists out. Yeah. I'm not quite sure I would go loyal spam instead of bricks. Again, especially against Terra, because Nexus should assume that. I mean, he sees the autumns now. He knows he's against D3 land, and autumns kind of crush loyalists. I'm pretty sure. So it makes, unless you have such a big number that you just charge in and keep perma standing them right, which you need enough to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, but considering the echo of Nexus, I think he can actually go and afford that.
Well, sure, but bricks
would be way better, especially because he have the air control, so he can just keep on dropping the bricks whenever he wants.
Well, that as well, yeah. He also has the map control, which makes dropping a lot safer. That's also the reason why that those two Nordhouse got spotted, because Nexus has the bottom right corner.
Oh, actually wait, Nexus is making bricks, but he's making them in the support factory, in the left top corner here.
Ah, I see. He's making Loyas from the factory furthest at the back, so because they have the longer rally time. That makes sense.
Yep.
Although the pathfinding out of that factory is having some issues.
I mean, that's quite out of support here, so yeah, it's gonna happen. But it seems like Pepsi is actually slowly recovering some of the map control at the bottom part. with his Yenzin and Autumns. But the question is if recovering the map control is gonna mean anything, if he cannot actually go and exert the control over it and reclaim all of the stuff that he killed.
Well, yeah, I mean it's nice to like get a bit of map control back, but this is like some of the less important part, and it's still like part some Tech 2 units to kill 4 Nexus in the PD.
Yep.
And now the first Loya is out, and they find the first Yenzins on the bottom, and they Yenzins aren't that bad against Loyas, funnily enough, because they don't really overkill and the alpha damage is nice. But you need to have enough Yenzins to kill them. You kind of one-shot Loyas.
Although here comes the Autumn support, so it seems like the Loyas won't go too far on the bottom part. Although they still should deny all of this Master Claim, and there is 5,000.
Yeah, the scariest part though is the push from Nexus on the left. There's 2 Loyas and a brick, and there's one Autumn that just got dropped into defense. I'm not sure if Nexus is gonna commit here, because...
I mean, in my opinion, he should go and commit. He have 2 bricks, 3 Loyas versus a single Autumn and 2 PDs, so yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the perfect intel you do.
I mean,
he doesn't know if there's... He doesn't know if there's no support units coming, that might be more Autumns.
I mean, he actually have a T2 Raider on the middle, so he knows quite a lot. His radar basically cuts off like here, so he knows a lot. And yeah, and there is also some Medusas pushing in through the middle, going to go and kill the factory yet again. To
this
get
looks
the power.
This looks kind of game over. This like Pepsi, I think he needs to do like in these kind of positions when you're in a really bad position. He needs like a tech to transport and a gun issue, and then you drop his gun issue to OC the Loya list or something. At least that's what he should have done earlier. Like he is in such a bad position next to taking the entire mid as well for free.
Yeah, he basically lost the macro game very hard.
Yeah, it's just from the start it kind of went pretty poorly for Pepsi compared to Nexus. I mean, the fast tech to HQ was nice, but
it wasn't used for anything, to be honest. The Yenzins didn't come out fast enough for anything.
Yeah, the Yenzins were too late to defend himself against the Mantis spam. And because of that, he kept losing all the engineers at the top left expansion for him, and because of that, he just never, like, without that reclaim you skill so much worse.
Oh no! Pepsi doesn't have the overcharge available, and he's actually doing a brick with a stock ACU. This is not gonna end up well. Although it seems like Nexus is just gonna go and ignore him. As he's actually focusing on killing the base.
He's going for the main base, and there's no counter to this. The Autumns were killed by the Loyas because they weren't in one at the time.
And here comes the PP from Pepsi, which I guess is supposed to be GG. So, PP indeed. Yeah, he recognized that there is no use to go and keep on playing in here, and basically it's time to save the mental and go next.
Actually, Bully said the civilian buildings in the middle always had nice mass, but it actually got reduced.
Oh.
Which I didn't know about. That's kind of funny.
I don't know, maybe I was thinking about some other map.
Well,
because I remember that some buildings actually had basically no mass at all. And they were basically useless.
That's true. Well, they got normalized, but that's what I thought as well. But some buildings did have mass and some didn't. I guess these were the buildings that did have mass, and they got like they got averaged out basically. So